What's going on, everybody? Today, well, it has really been a good couple weeks, month. So this video here that I've been making started back in the middle of December, roughly. So I've taken this truck apart and I've taken this cab off. This is gonna be the third time I gotta take this cab off. So yeah, there's some news. What is going on, everybody? Well, today I have a big project I'm working on, which is gonna be my 2007 F550 bucket truck. Basically, I'm doing the whole bulletproof on it because I ran into some issues where the EGR cooler cracked on it. So, and I got my boy back here helping me too, one of them. So what we got so far, we got the heads off, we got them over to the shop, just pulled the transmission. We're getting ready to, so what we're doing today is we're actually changing the lifters in the truck. Well, in order to change these back 8 lifters, we have to take off the high pressure oil tube here. And the only way to take this off is you have to take the flywheel off, take this whole back cover off, and then unbolt it, and it slides right out. So it's a lot of work just to replace something that would take us maybe 10 minutes. But that's what we're gonna do. All right, so we got the back plate off, and that's what we're left with. With these 6 liters, everything's kind of backwards on it. Here's the cam, and then you got the crank, and you got the high pressure oil pump here. So you have a handful of bolts to take out. You have another plate here, you just pop that off. Use a puller. I ended up using just a rubber mallet and hit it a couple times and it popped off. And then the whole back plate comes off, which is right there. That's the plate. And then you'll take out 2 bolts right here, and that holds the tube on. The tube goes in here and over here. Bolts in there, and then we went ahead and pulled the lifters out. So I got the lifters over here somewhere. Hey, where'd you throw the lifters at? Oh, I just need one. So there's the lifters. They don't look too hateful, but we're going to go ahead and replace them anyways, because if one of those, they have little needle bearings in them, and if one of them things shreds and goes down to your oil pan, it's going to end up costing you a $10,000 motor real easy, real quick. So all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get the new lifters and get them lubed up, get them dropped in there, and get this thing put back together. All right, huge shout out to DK Engine Parts. There's some of their information there. They, I highly advise, call them. I wasn't very happy with the online part of it, their online store, dealing with it. But when I talked with them in person, amazing experience. And I mean, all their stuff is packaged really, really well. So here it is. We got a bunch of parts, a bunch of O-rings, and I don't even know what half of it goes to, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. Got some head gaskets here. And also something else is neat is every box they sent, there's a sticker the size of that box. So like that box went right here, that sticker went with that box, and so on. These are our new lifters, and I have to find some of our gaskets. So I'll be right back. All right, well, I got the got it back together. Yeah, didn't go together too bad. Got this back on, got it rebuilt with all the gaskets and all the cool stuff. I'm going to get some Loctite to add to the flywheel bolts, so we got to put those on, get some of that first. I'll get those back in and then get the transmission back on, and then I'll work on everything else. So I think I can do it. All right, I got the block ready to go. I turned around, stoned it. I think it's clean. I don't know. Now we're going to clean it up some, but all I did was use a little knife, sharpening stone here, with some good old trusty WD-40, and all I do is spray some in there like that. Make it all nice and wet. Make sure you use the fine side of this. You just kind of rub it on there like that. But I already got this one prepped. So what we're going to be doing right now is just cleaning everything up, getting all the holes blowed out, and getting this thing ready to put some studs in it. So, all right, so it's been a couple days. Turns out the company, we had some misinformation. I don't know if I gave them the wrong information or what, but I received the wrong size head gaskets. So at 2006, 2007, they changed the dowel pins on these from an 18 mil to a 20. So I called the company up, no hassle at all. I mean, they were awesome to work with. Sent me the other one. I had it within a couple days, and they sent me a package slip to send the other ones back. So zero complaints. You know, yeah, it set me back a little bit, but I still don't even have my fuel injectors yet, so it's not really hurting nothing. But so far, it's been an awesome company to work with. So, I've taken this truck apart, and I've taken this cab off. This is going to be the third time I got to take this cab off. So yeah, there's some news. Put the truck together. It was making some noise. Took it all back apart again. Turns out I had a bent lifter. And so now you have to think, well, what bent the lifter? Well, it could be, ended up being a bent valve. So the valve stuck and bent the lifter. So at this point, I'm so aggravated. I don't have enough time to work on it. I hire someone else to come in. I'm like, hey, just throw it back together for me. And these guys are very reputable. So they know what they're doing. They work on these all the time. They threw it all back together last night. I went and put the cab back on, hooked all the lines back up, hit the key, same exact thing. So we're going to take the cab back off and tear into it again, see what it is. So we're going to end up taking this whole cab off. I got it down to where I can do it pretty freaking fast. I keep tearing up the molding on the door though, the weather stripping. I mean, at this point I don't really care. And it's just a work truck, but it's from lifting it with the forklift. I don't have a regular lift to lift this thing off. But it is pretty easy to take one of these cabs off. I mean, you only have a handful of things to disconnect. Basically, if it's plastic, you're going to want to take it out. So we're going to take this out, this out, this out. The two batteries. Undo these three brake lines here. We have down here, we have like 6 plug-ins that plug in, or 5. We're going to do these 2 plugs. You have 2 nuts that hold the front of the cab down, and then 4 bolts that are located in the cab, but I never put those back in yet, so those aren't in. We'll take the radiator hose off, take these two brackets off, take the radiator out. We got the bottom radiator hose, 2 quick disconnects for the transmission lines. We have our AC line that's tucked up under here. We got this AC line here that comes off. This battery, these cables, this bracket here, and this is a boom truck, so I got some like additional stuff to take off. But I got these wires to unbolt, and can't forget your 2 ABS wires. You got one on each side. Make sure you take those off. And then there's one ground wire that's right underneath the step here up on the body. Take that one off. And again, this is a bucket truck. I got a handful of wires here I have to undo, so I can push them out of the back of the cab. And then we have like, you have your emergency brake cable to undo, which is pretty easy, and your shifting lever. So that's it. Other than that, the thing lifts right up. So, all right, I'll be right back. All right, well, I got the cab off. It really wasn't too bad. I mean, I've done it now 3 times, so I'm pretty quick at it now. So here's the cab. And we're back down to this again. As you can see, most of the, I took all the plastic off for the most part. And there's those 3 brake lines that we popped off. I just zip tied them off here, and there's one big wire loom right here. You just throw that over the motor. Sorry, I got the hiccups. And then you got your power steering stuff. And a couple of little wires. That's it. There ain't much to this at all, but let's see how this works out. Hopefully figure out what the problem is. Hopefully I can show you guys what the problem is, so then you guys can be like, oh yeah, watch out for that. So, all right, so at the end of the day, figured out what the issue was. Had a cracked rocker arm. Check that out. But on the good note, got everything put back together. Didn't take long. So got the cab back on it, and I got everything else hooked back up. All I gotta do is put the hood back on. I'm out adding a coolant filtration system. I'm doing that tomorrow, and then just some little odds and ends, and we'll finally be done with this project.